and everything for his birthday. Hey.
Hi, and welcome to another week of Vinart and Friends Fantasy Football League. As always, I am your host, Junior Mendoza, and commissioner of the league, also team owner of the 2-Minute Drill in Your Mom. You know what we're here to do. That's right, we're here to recap week 6. It's in the books, and a lot of things happened. So let's get right to it. The first game we're going to talk about is Steel City versus Alabama Black Snake. Steel City crushed Alabama Black Snake 185.30 to 151.55. It was a tough L for Coach Mitchell, where he was just starting to look good, man. I'm telling you, he was looking good, but he came up against Steel City, who just pretty much, man, just hurt him, just killed him, you know? The best player for Steel City was none other than Gus Edwards. I mean, that's how you can tell how dire the situation is with the running backs when you're having to start Gus Edwards and he is the star player of your game. But nonetheless, Gus Edwards came in, man, and gave him 21 solid points to help him defeat Alabama Black Snakes. As for who let Coach Mitchell down in the Alabama Black Snakes, TJ Edwards, who was only able to give the man 4 points. I don't know if that boy is going to be on the team next week. That's rough. With this win, Steel City goes to a 4-3 record and climbs up to the 5th spot in the standings. And on the other hand, Alabama Black Snake goes down to 3-4 and goes to the 8th spot in the standings. Looking ahead to next week, Alabama Black Snakes faces off against Supreme Team. That team is no joke. You'll see later. They scored again pretty high. And as for Steel City, they're going to go up against Chickenville Chickies, another team that can score at will and just up and down. But when they're on, they're really, really on. Both teams got to really find themselves. And hopefully next week, they'll be able to fix what they couldn't do. But Chickenville Chickies is looking pretty strong, even though they lost a lot of their players. And as for Coach Shaheed, he just keeps on leaving points on the bench. I can't really blame him this time, but he did leave about 40 to 50 points on his bench. You got to fix that, or else you can't win in this league. For the second game, we got Wall Street Window Lickers defeating El Cuñado 175.25 to 141.75. This was the battle of the basement, folks. Somebody had to win. Both teams were down and out. Both teams were on a losing streak. And Wall Street Window Lickers finally came out with a dub. Wall Street Window Lickers' best player was Mike Evans, who showed up with a strong 24-point outing. Meanwhile, El Cuñado was let down by their player Cam Curl, who only scored 6.09 points. 6.59 points. With this victory, Wall Street Window Lickers goes to a record of 2-5 and climbs out of the cellar from 12th place to 11th place. And as for El Cuñado, he also goes to 2-5, leaving them in the cellar in 12th place. We could not expect this to happen. We're talking about Coach Louis El Cuñado, who is a 2-time champion back-to-back. It is just weird seeing him go down like this. Matter of fact, the poor guy's birthday was today. You would have thought he would have been able to celebrate with a dub and be all hype. But instead, this is the only celebration he got.
Yo, he got a twerk and everything for his birthday.
Oh my God, I'm telling y'all, the twerk. Well, happy birthday, Coach Louis. I hope you got a better one next year. Looking ahead to next week, Wall Street Window Lickers faces off against Don Francisco, who had a tough loss this week as well, and he's reeling from a lot of injuries. And as for El Cuñado, they will be going head to head with yours truly, 2-Minute Drill in Your Mom. Good luck, El Cuñado. I expect another L next week. Third game we're going to talk about is Supreme Team, who defeated Indy 500 192.45 to 131.70. Supreme Team star player was none other than AJ Brown, who showed up to the party with a 34-point performance. As for Coach Tyree and Indy 500, who let him down? This was a big one, folks. Austin Eckler. Man, and this is crazy because I thought Austin Eckler was going to go off against the Chiefs, but he only showed up with a 6.59 points. And I know that Coach Uri was hoping and counting on him for way more than that. But you can't really win in this league when your number one running back is giving you performances like that. With this win, Supreme Team now goes to 5-2, and he sits at the top of the leaderboard in first place. He bumped me off, man. And listen, I can't really blame him. I can't really say nothing bad about him. The guy has a great team, and he could be the team to beat in this league this season. We'll see what happens. As for Indy 500, they'll be going up against the Assassins, who's a team right now that's struggling to find themselves and really don't know who they are. We'll figure it out next week, and we'll see what happens. Will the Assassins take back the win, or will Indy 500 get right one more again? Game number 4 was Playoffs versus the Assassins. Playoffs came away with a win with 191 to 171.55, but it wasn't even that close. While Playoffs had an overall score, everybody pretty much scored. Their top performer was Josh Palmer, who came in and gave them a nice little boost there with 25.30 points. As for the Assassins, well, they wasted away a performance of a lifetime from Lamar Jackson with 55 points. But unfortunately, the guy who really let him down was Bijan Robinson. All of a sudden, this guy got sick. Nobody knew he was ill. Nobody knew he wasn't going to play. He only really ended up playing about 2 series or something like that, and then they took him out. The NFL's even catching shit about this because, hey, they're talking about Atlanta. Why didn't you tell us that this dude was sick? Maybe Coach Bruce wouldn't have started him if he knew he was sick. He let us down, man, and he let Coach Bruce Fuller down as well. And who knows with Coach Bruce Fuller? He might say he's on the block this time. Well, hey, holler at your boy if he is, because I'm interested. With this win, Playoffs improves their record to 3-4 and move up in the standings to the position of 7th place. As for the Assassins, they also go down to 3-4, but they fall to 10th place in the standings. Looking ahead next week, Playoffs will go up against almost no McNally's. And let me tell you something, that's not an easy feat. The guy just killed me this week, scored 244 points. Good luck, Coach Barrett. Good luck. I think you're going to need it. As for the Assassins, they're going to go up against Indy 500 to try to get back on the winning streak. It's going to be a close game, I assume, but I don't know. You pick them. We'll see. 5th game we're going to talk about is Chickenville Chickies versus Don Francisco. And let me tell y'all something. Chickenville Chickies put a hurtin' on Don Francisco. Chickenville Chickies defeated Don Francisco 263 to 174. Yes, you heard it right. The man scored 263 points. God damn. 263. Chickenville Chickies star player? Guess. You're probably not gonna guess. All right, I'll tell you. Gardner Minshew. Yes, you're right. Gardner Minshew came up with 44 points out of nowhere. And if Chickenville Chickies didn't have so many injuries at their quarterback position, they probably wouldn't have even played Gardner Minshew. It was a desperate play. It was a last-second shot, and it worked out for him. Great job for Coach Lewis. As for who let Don Francisco down, sad. His quarterback, man, Deshaun Watson, who we all thought was going to be, a revelation this year, and he has not looked as good as we thought he was. He was sick or they took him out. I don't know exactly what the reason was, but he ended up only giving my man 0.75 points. Man, you cannot win. You cannot win when your quarterback gives you 0.75 points. Hopefully he'll be better next week. We'll see. With this win, Chickenville Chickies improve their record to 3-4, and they move up to 6th place. As for Don Francisco, he also goes to 3-4, but he goes down to 9th place. He needs some help. He needs to get some injured players back. I don't know what he's gonna do, but he needs some help. Looking ahead to next week, Chickenville Chickies face off against Steel City, who's a pretty strong team. Who knows what's going to go on there? As for Don Francisco, they'll have to try to regroup since they're going up against Wall Street Window Lickers. Listen, Wall Street Window Lickers scored a lot of points this week, something that they haven't been doing all season long. Who knows, maybe this is the turnaround that they needed, but it's going to be a battle between Don Francisco and Wall Street Window Lickers. Good luck to y'all. And for the last game we're going to talk about, I don't even know if we want to talk about it or if I want to talk about it, to be honest with you. It was my game. 2-minute drilling your mom versus Almost No McNally. Almost No McNally defeated me 244.15 to 222.60. How do you score 222 points and still lose? I would have beat every single other team in the league except for the one I played. I mean, Coach Gerard just happens to go ahead at the last second and put in Deontay Foreman, who just gave him 31 points, 3 touchdowns. I mean, really, Bears? Really? You couldn't pass the ball? How about DJ Moore? How about Cole Kmet? They need the ball too. Why did you have to give all the fucking balls to Deontay Foreman? That's crazy. And you know what's even crazier? I actually wasted a performance of 63 points by my quarterback, Patrick Mahomes. 63 points. My man put the team on his back, and I still lost. This is crazy, and especially because I talked so much shit before the freaking game. We had a meal on the line, and not just any meal. We got the Dominican platter at Boca Chica, which cost about $45 fucking dollars, okay? And then if that wasn't enough, my dumb ass had to speak out right before it and say, you know what? The loser has to wait until the winner finishes eating, and then the loser can eat. One of these days, I'm gonna learn not to write checks that my ass can't cash. But until then, it is what it is. Fuck you, Coach Jerry. I mean that from the bottom of my heart. Kiss my ass. 2-minute drilling your mom goes with a record of 5-2 and slides all the way from first place to third place. As for Coach Gerard and Almost No McNally's, they also go to a 5-2 record and they go to second place, right behind Supreme Team. Looking ahead, Almost No McNally faces off against playoffs next week. I'm hoping playoffs pulls it out. Because again, like I said, fuck Gerard. And as for me, I face El Cuñado next week. There are no bye weeks. There are no real excuses now. So I'm just going to have to show up. I'm sorry, Coach Louie. I now have to make an example out of you since an example was made out of me. You know, shit rolls downhill. I don't know what to tell you. Sorry, man. Sorry. Well, that's it. That'll about do it for me today. Thanks very much for watching. Like always, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and share if you like the video. Help us out. See y'all on the other side next week. Peace.